how could something that be so small and weigh so less be the foundation of us human beings? Even today, the heart, I am amazed by the heart, seeing how it helps pump thousands of gallons of blood throughout our system every single day. What is cardiology? Cardiology is a branch of medicine that deals with the diseases and abnormalities of the heart. Cardio refers to heart, and ology refers to study. But basically, it is the study of the heart. I would like everyone to stand up. Did you know that heart disease is the #1 leading cause of death? That would mean that you three in the back sit down, that these 3 people would die in the future of heart disease. Proportionally, that is, right now it is a small number, but think of it globally, that is huge. You may now sit down. Michael, do you perhaps know how many heart attacks occur every year? An estimate.
50,000?
You, Jordan?
3 million?
Every year in the US, 720,000 people die due to heart attacks. That is a huge number. This is some stats based on 2010. You can read. Research. During my time in, during my research in ISM, I have focused on the molecular side, in which we focus on the small things. For instance, nanomedicine, in which I read an article, is being tested to help repair the heart muscles after a heart attack. The heart muscle tears after every single heart attack, so they're now conducting nanomedicine to help prevent that. The apolipoprotein E. The apolipoprotein E helps people who have the apolipoprotein E3 have a protein that helps the lining, repair the lining of blood vessels. Unfortunately, some people do not have that protein and have the genetic variant apolipoprotein E4. Right now, tests are being conducted to have proteins in medicine that can help cover the side effects of apolipoprotein 4, people who unfortunately have the genetic variant, so that they can have so that they can still be in the same situation as people who have apolipoprotein E3. And PCP4 protein. The PCP4 protein, it helps reduce irregular arrhythmias in people. But unfortunately, some people who have a less amount of PCP protein have irregular arrhythmias. And to prevent this, a lot of new studies have been conducted to help people less fortunate. And did you know that coronary heart disease is not related to genetic as much as perceived? This is what I think is outstanding. Before I go into my research interviews, I would like to differentiate between the 2 types of 2 branches of cardiology. There's invasive cardiology, which is interventional cardiology, and there is non-invasive cardiology, which is preventative cardiology. And invasive cardiology, doctors who practice that focus more on procedures of the heart, like surgery, and they focus on heart catheterizations, heart ablations, heart versions, and electrophysiology studies. Non-invasive cardiology is different, as it focuses more on how to help the patient and helping patients through diagnosis, treatment, and recovery. I have interviewed people who were invasive and non-invasive. I interviewed 5 people. The first one is Dr. Raul Santos. Dr. Raul Santos, when I first entered his office, I could tell he was a nice, caring man. When I first entered his office, instead of letting me sit in a normal patient chair, which is bland and really uncomfortable, he let me sit in his office chair. I thought it was pretty cool, and I felt that he actually cared about my presence, and I suspected he cared about his patient presence too. Not only was Dr. Raul Santos an experienced cardiologist, I could tell he deeply cared about his patients. I learned from him that no matter how difficult and how hard the path of a cardiologist might be, it is always rewarding, and the things you accomplish from it are astounding. Dr. David Harper. Unlike the previous interviews, when the one with Dr. David Harper, I spent 2 hours at his hospital. The first 30 minutes I conversed with his nurses and secretary, who explained to me their duties, how they help the doctor, and what they do. Next 30 minutes I interviewed with Dr. David Harper, who explained to me his role and how he was influenced by his own father, who was a successful cardiologist. He explained to me that the path of a cardiologist is hard, but with an amount of dedication and hard work, anything can be achieved. And the next 1 hour, which I thought was pretty cool, I was the life of a patient. I had an EKG test, which I will pass around. I had an EKG test done on me, an echo test, and a stress test. I was basically in the life of a patient. I thought it was pretty cool because I understood from patient view what the doctor is doing, and I had a detailed explanation of what exactly the nurse and the doctor were doing on me. And for the echoes, I had an electrophysiologist who got a transmitter and looked around my heart and showed me all the openings and all the openings and the functions of the heart within it, so I could actually see my own heart, which is pretty awesome. And I was fortunate to have an interview with Dr. Amit Kara. Dr. Amit Kara was the head cardiologist at UT Southwestern and the head of the fellowship program there. Not only was he a recognized and acknowledged doctor, he in his busy schedule, allowed me 30 minutes to interview with him. Dr. Amit Kara was a preventative cardiologist compared, unlike the rest, he was a non-invasive cardiologist. He basically did research and made papers over his research. Compared to the time of the other doctors, he had more time to leave and more time to be free. Usually he said he could leave work anytime from 5 to 7, while the rest of the doctors usually had to stay in clinical, means the hospital, for more than, till 10 or late at night. Dr. Mark Kroc was a doctor who told me the importance of your coworkers. He explained to me that it is always good to have a good connection with your coworkers, as whenever he needs to go leave somewhere to attend his children's events, Dr. Mark Klein, which is not on here, would help cover for him and cover the entire day. For instance, Dr. Mark Kroc, he sets aside Mondays and Wednesdays to leave early at 5 o'clock, while Dr. Mordecai Klein covers him, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Dr. Mark Kroc covers for Dr. Mordecai Klein. In the phone interview I had with Dr. Paran Parekh, I could understand the amount of busy time the doctors had. Since I had to cancel his interview once because he was too busy and had calls, and second time he was late because he had another call. So I could understand the busy schedule that the doctor had. And lastly, I would like to end with my quote. I feel like this quote will represent my journey through ISM and my journey through life. I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work. What Einstein stated was simple. Failure does not mean that one should give up. Rather, it means that one is one step closer to his or her goal. During my ISM journey, I will face many obstacles, and as I overcome these adversities, I'll become one step closer to my dreams and aspirations. I'll make many decisions in ISM. They may benefit me, some may not. But ultimately, every choice I make will make me one step closer to my goal. Thank you.